we're going to talk about signs of toxicity. What does it look like? What does that mean, right? So understanding the signs of toxicity in your body can actually help you take proactive steps towards better health, okay? So why detoxify? Why do we even need, why do we need to detoxify, right? Because toxins like to accumulate. Okay, toxins from food, from air, from our environment. Sometimes you'll see in the sky what? Chemtrails, right? Those are toxins. Or sometimes you'll see like black what? Mold. Are those toxic to us? Well, what about the fragrance stuff? Oh, but I want my house to smell good. Those are toxic too, right? So chemicals accumulate in our bodies over time, leading to various health issues and decreased vitality. And what are the impacts of toxins? The presence of toxins can significantly impair our well-being, affecting energy levels, your hormones, even mood, ultimately diminishing our quality of life. Sometimes when you have a really high toxic load, it is debilitating. It is debilitating. Some people, we have friends who've had, who struggled with mold toxicity and overload of toxins, and they are sick. They have all kinds of diseases due to the toxin levels in their bodies, okay? So we don't want a load of toxins. We want to get rid of it as much as we can. The good news is that God made our bodies fearfully and wonderfully made, okay? It can detoxify itself, but sometimes we also have to assist it, okay? Okay, sign number one, if you sometimes feel, persistent fatigue, right? You feel tired, even if you had good rest, even if you slept all day or all night, 8 hours of sleep, you still feel fatigued. There could be a toxic buildup, right? Sometimes fatigue indicate your body is overworked due to toxicity. It could also mean that you have a weakened immune system. Like some people get sick all the time. Okay, they get sick. They're always sick. And that can also indicate toxicity because it's affecting your immune response. Your immune response can't do its job because of the toxic load. Okay? Number two, digestive issues. Some of us have bloating all the time, no matter what we do. We try not to drink water with our meals anymore, and we try to avoid different things, and I'm still bloated. I have heartburn, or sometimes it could be diarrhea or constipation. There could be a toxic buildup there if you've done all kinds of things and you're still feeling it. You may want to consider detoxing. We talked about smoothies, doing smoothies in January, right? A year ago or a year or two, we did juicing for 3 days, right? Juice detox. So we're going to talk about other ways to detox as well. But, acid reflux is another one that can indicate that there's an imbalance. There's an imbalance in your gut, okay? For some of us, you may need to avoid certain things, certain foods like wheat, dairy. Some of those cause toxicity, okay? Toxic buildup. The impact of toxins on skin health, okay? Skin is often a reflection of internal health. So sometimes, we're like, oh, but, I'm healthy. But then now you have breakouts. It's coming out of your skin. Breakouts may indicate toxicity. Sometimes dryness or overly oiliness, that could also be toxic, right? A toxic buildup. Acne, rashes, and dull skin can indicate that toxins are interfering with your body's ability to detoxify through the skin. How do you detoxify through the skin? What are some things that you can do to detoxify through the skin? Sweating. Very good. Very good. Good job. Sweating every time. Guess what? Every time we go to the Philippines, I'm like, Lord, why are you sending us to the Philippines again? Why? Because I don't like it because it's so humid and so hot. But then You detoxify a lot too. Because you're always sweating. You're sweating out the toxins, right? So that's one way your body is able to get toxins out of your body. But sometimes if you have an overload of toxins, it'll come out in your skin. If your liver is plugged or if it's not functioning at optimum level because it's, there's too much toxins, there's so much buildup, or there's parasites, it'll come out of your skin, the toxins, because your liver can no longer do its job. It cannot filter, it cannot do what it's supposed to do. So now it's starting to come out of your skin, okay? Understanding bad breath and body odor. Like, wow, why is it extra stinky today? Right? You could be having a high toxic load, right? Causing unpleasant odors. Built-up of toxins in the mouth and sweat glands can lead to bad breath and body odor, indicating possible internal toxicity. When somebody comes to me and says, "Oh, Sister Kim, like my armpit stinks so bad, it's like extra stinky, like it just came out of nowhere," I'm like, okay, we're gonna have to detox, okay? Because there's too much toxic load. There's too many toxic things in your body that's causing, your body odor. It's affecting your hormones. It can't regulate itself because of the toxins being there. Okay, even bad breath. Sometimes it's like, but I brushed my teeth already. I just brushed my teeth. Ugh, like, why is it still stinky? You may want to consider detoxing, okay? Understanding brain fog and concentration issues. Sometimes, when we can't think, or we feel like, oh, there's a cloud over my head, I can't remember, it's because, or we're becoming becoming forgetful. That could be toxin accumulation that's leading to that forgetfulness, okay? And unclear thoughts impacting daily tasks and overall mental clarity significantly. And emotional instability may also indicate chemical imbalances due to the toxins in your body. There's also toxin-induced inflammation. Like if you have frequent headaches, that can also indicate underlying toxicity as well. And usually it's caused by inflammation or dehydration due to accumulated toxins in your body, okay? So always try to keep that in mind. Like I said, if it just came all of a sudden and you're like, I've been so forgetful, I can't even remember what I ate yesterday, or you can't, there's just, you've been suffering from brain fog, it could be your toxic load, okay? Mood swings and irritability, okay? And more emotional turbulence. Toxins can disrupt hormonal balance and mood stability. So the thing is, toxins can inhibit or stop the production of hormone glands like your thyroid, your adrenals, right? And then it affects your metabolism and your stress response. And toxins can even trigger inflammation, which releases cytokines, okay? And that can impact your hormone regulation and your brain function, okay? So do we want toxins in our bodies? We want them out as much as we can, right? I mean, just breathing, living, we're going to have toxins, right? We just don't want so much toxic load, toxicity where it's making us sick. Just like when I talked about the parasites, same thing. All of us have parasites. We can't possibly get rid of all the parasites in our body. Some of them we need, but if we have so much of it, where it's plugging up our liver, it's going into our colon, it's plugging up all kinds of things, it's going into our brain, guess what? We got to evacuate them, right? So same thing with these toxins. What are 5 simple steps to detoxify naturally? We want to assist our bodies into detoxing. The best thing to do, this is the best thing to do. Aside from the 5 simple steps, the best thing to do is to limit exposure to those toxins, okay? Limit toxins, okay? Hydration, why? Drinking plenty of water daily helps to flush out all of these toxins. As soon as you wake up in the morning, we've talked about this many times in these classes, take that water. Get some water, squeeze some lemon juice in it, drink it as soon as you wake up in the morning, and that will help flush your systems, flush the toxins out, support your kidney function, and also maintain overall hydration for your optimal body performance, right? How about nutrition? Is nutrition important? Why? Why do you think that we promote a lot of fruits and vegetables? Why? Because it provides essential vitamins and nutrients and minerals and antioxidants that help your body to detoxify on its own, okay? And combat also harmful substances. What about exercise again? What happens when we exercise? You sweat. And then think of your lymphatic system that collects all the viruses and bacteria that goes into your body, and it doesn't need to be there. What do they do? Your lymphatic system collects them and gets rid of them, right? But then your lymphatic system doesn't have a pump like your heart. It can't pump. So unless we're moving, unless we're, being active, that's the only way your lymphatic system can detox itself. Okay, so we need to be active, okay, so that we can support our lymphatic function and support our body's natural ability to eliminate toxins effectively. Why do I have nutrition here? I guess I was supposed to put vegetables and fruits on the other one. Okay, nutrition. I would avoid as much as possible highly processed foods, okay? And focus more on vegetables like your cruciferous. What are your cruciferous vegetables? Broccoli, cauliflower. I made some cauliflower ceviche for us today with my last two organically grown cauliflower from our garden. I was really saving it for this class. I wanted to be selfish and just eat it all by myself, but I probably can't. So I wanted to share with you. And these type of vegetables are very detoxifying. Again, avoid processed foods to minimize consumption of additives, preservatives, artificial flavors, and ingredients, right? And one of the most important thing to do is to chew your food. Chew that food slowly. So I know a lady that would chew her food she would count to 100 before she swallows 1 tablespoon of food. I don't have that much time, but I try. But it helps with nutrient absorption. It really does when we chew our food properly, okay? Well, what about sleep? Well, sleep is the best way that our body cleans itself is when we sleep. So imagine if you don't sleep. Toxin overload, right? So we need to make sure we're getting proper rest, proper sleep, enough sleep. If you're not, hey, did you guys know that there's a lot of poppies, California poppies growing out there, especially on Kansas Settlement area and where Nanita lives? I mean, it's yellow. The fields are yellow and orange, and it's beautiful. California poppies. You can use the whole entire plant. It is a mild sedative. It'll make you sleepy. It helps with pain. It helps with insomnia. Use the entire plant. You can make it into a tea fresh or dry them up and put them, you can put them in capsules if you want to. It is an amazing herb. And it just grows wild out here around this time, right? So don't waste it, please. I was just texting a friend of mine earlier because we went to her house and her whole property is like filled with poppies. And I said, please don't mow them. I will take them if you don't want them. Use it. It's a natural narcotic. Is narcotic good or bad? It has a bad rap, narcotics, right? But it's a natural narcotic. It's a natural opium. It doesn't, huh?
Did you fail the drug test if you take it?
No, silly. But, use it. It's God's gift to us, especially around this time. And also, you can use it as a poultice. just grab the plant, the flower with the stems if you want to, crush it up and put it on, let's say, some kind of skin infection or ringworm. Sometimes with ringworm, you've used everything. You've used garlic, you've used castor oil, you've used like cayenne pepper, you've used all kinds of things to help with the ringworm, and it doesn't work. Take that poppy and use it on your ringworm. Bam, gone. So, yes, don't throw away those poppies, or don't run them over unless they're on the side of the road. If it's all over your property, gather them, dry them if you want, turn them into medicine. Okay? All right. Okay, Dr. David Williams has a really good detox. It's very easy. There you go. 1 cup. All it takes is 1 cup. We talked about this, multiple times with cilantro. Cilantro is a great detoxifier, right? Heavy metals detox, regular detox, fresh cilantro. 1 cup. Okay, pack in that fresh cilantro. 6 tablespoons of olive oil. What does olive oil do again? What does it do? It also helps with our liver. It detoxifies our liver, right? 1 clove of garlic, powerful antibiotic. Half a cup of almonds or cashews or whatever nuts you want, okay? And then 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And then all you want to do is blend all those ingredients into a paste. Consume or eat a few teaspoons of this mixture daily to support the detoxification process. Is it simple? It's like pesto. It tastes like pesto. I didn't get to make some for you today because I was a little busy, but you can make it at home. It tastes like pesto. You can even put some Celtic salt in there for extra minerals, okay? But that's it. You can even do, you can also drink dandelion. A lot of you are familiar with dandelion, right? Dandelion root, milk thistle, tea to support your liver function and detoxification. How many of you are familiar with activated charcoal? That's another way to detox. It'll bind to all the toxins in your body and get it out, okay? Praying also helps decrease the stress hormones like cortisol. It provides an outlet for expressing feelings like anger when you're sad or when you're fearful, right? Prayer is very important. Sometimes when, a lot of times the Lord reminds me, there is nothing else that you can do humanly possible but pray to me to take care of whatever issues you have, right? It can also facilitate emotional detoxification by promoting forgiveness, which can lighten emotional burdens, right? When we pray and when we surrender to God, Lord, I've done everything, and this person still doesn't want to talk to me, or maybe like, Lord, this person's been just been hurting me in my heart. Lord, what do I do? Forgive. The Lord tells us to forgive. What does that do? It lightens our mood. Sometimes there's nothing else that we can do. But ask the Lord, Lord, forgive that person. I forgive that person. Lord, give me the strength to forgive that person, right, who has done me wrong. In 2 Corinthians 7:1, it says, having therefore these promises, dearly beloved, let us cleanse ourselves from all filthiness of the flesh and spirit, perfecting holiness in the fear of God. What a beautiful promise. Right, honey? Amen. Okay, the first one we're going to do is called delectable truffles, okay?
And you'll detect them too. You can smell them from a mile away.
Okay, in the recipe, it calls for 2 cups of pecans. I'm cutting the recipe in half because I figured I didn't have enough pecans. So it calls for 2 cups of pecans, 2 cups of dates. Dates is jam-packed with nutrients and minerals and fiber. Even though it's sweet, it actually doesn't spike up the blood sugar as much. You know what I mean? Because it's full of fiber. If if I'm a little constipated, especially when we're, after we went and flew and for like 14 hours, I found myself a little constipated. So guess what? I was eating those dates and some plum. No, plums, right?
Plums, yeah.
Was it plums? Yeah, prunes. Yeah, prunes. Yep. I was eating prunes, and the dates, and it didn't take me very long. And I went, and it was really nice stool.
Yeah, so when you're constipated, make sure you get a date. A date.
Silly. Okay.
No, this
so, so all you need are, your pecans in a food processor, a little bit of carob powder, because we use carob because it doesn't contain caffeine, and it's much better, much healthier for you. Than cocoa. You can use cocoa too if you don't have carob, but we're using carob, okay?
Use a carob.
And your dates. Okay? And that's really it. We're gonna go ahead and turn on the food processor until it's broken up into many little pieces.
By the way, my first job as an intern for a food science or microbiologist was at a company called, that's not live stream. It's called Chocolates a la carte. And then all the chocolates are Boulder, Astoria, for Disney, all these fancy restaurants. And I remember looking at the supplier sheet. And I did I tell you this before? I think I did. But it allows a certain amount of rat feces.
Yep.
So I just want to let you know, so I like carrot better. Another incentive to use carrot.
Yep, that's right. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and... No, I didn't soak them. If your dates are a little bit hard because they're a little old, you may want to soak them, okay? Okay, we're gonna go ahead and put all of these in this bowl. And then I just wash my hands. And then you're gonna scoop out a little bit. And then you can form a ball in your hand, just like that. Squeeze it so it stays together. The dates help the nuts to stay together, okay? And then what you want, you can eat it just like this if you want, but we want truffle, right? So we're gonna just roll them in the carob powder. And there you go. Was that simple?
Yeah.
Easy, right?
And this is also the recipe that is very similar to my raw carob
cheesecake. Yes.
Cheeseless cake.
Yes.
This is the
That's right. So you get to try them.
Okay, how many of you know how to make rice? Whether it's in a rice cooker or on the stove, right? In a pot. So this is a very simple recipe in my family with my kids. If we ever had rice and then had leftovers, we would, make good use of the leftover rice. But if you don't have that, then just make your own rice on the side to make the rice pudding. But once the rice is cooked, you can add any type of milk that you use, almond, soy, or cashew milk. I used coconut milk in mine, and you can add cinnamon to it, you can add vanilla to it, you can add raisins to it. You pretty much just let it cook. After the rice is cooked, then you add all those ingredients and just let it warm up again, and there you have your rice pudding. I don't know. Did you guys understand? Yeah. So it's very simple. It's very, very simple. So I brought both cold rice pudding and warm rice pudding because it tastes a little different. It's the same thing, but it's just your whatever you prefer. Yes. But it's pretty simple. That's it. Yes. How much maple syrup do you like? That would be depend on your taste. Yes. Yes. And then one thing you do need to look for, I made the rice pudding with brown rice. It's the short grain brown rice. So you need to keep an eye on that because that does absorb a lot of liquid. And so after you do cook it, you might have to add extra water or extra milk to it so that so it's not too thick. Okay? And then another dish that we have is, in my family, we grew up with just fresh fruit. And so with what we have today is pineapple with the healthy tahini. How many of you heard of tahini? Okay, so what we do is add cayenne pepper and salt. And you just sprinkle it on your fruit. And so
if you're having a heart attack, eat some of this.
you can add lime or lemon to it as well. But that's pretty much it.
All right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start with a carrot cupcake, and she said bakeless.
Bakeless. You
Bakeless.
don't
Okay,
have
raw
to. Yes,
carrot.
it's raw.
Cupcake.
Yes.
Wow.
And the main ingredient today is our dates, right?
All right.
It's gonna look like this, like little cupcakes.
Wow.
Okay. All you need to do is put dates in there, a cup of coconut flakes.
Coconut flakes.
2 cups of shredded carrots. And you know, the reason why I kind of came up with this recipe was because it was a birthday of one of our friends, and she's gluten-free, vegan. You know, she's on an anti-inflammatory diet, and I really wanted to celebrate her birthday without giving her, you know, like wheat. You know what I mean? So I'm like, what do I have? What do I have in my house that I could turn into something like a cake, right? Because she was coming over and I had like less than 10 minutes. So I'm like, okay, what do I have? I have dates, I have carrots, I have coconut flakes. That's all I need. So I put it all together, and I really had to perfect the recipe today so that I can give you the measurement, because the first time I did it, I didn't measure it. So today you have...
That's a miracle in itself. She never measures. Okay.
That's why I tell you guys, don't ask me for recipes, because if I cook, then yes, I'm sorry, the enchiladas, I can tell you how I made it, but if you ask me for like the measurements, I don't know. But I'll tell you how much of this I put. All right, we're just gonna go ahead and process it. What are carrots good for? Carotene, right? That's right. Vitamin A, eyes, that's right. And what are dates again? What are dates good for again?
For quality time with your spouse.
Silly. How about coconut? Is coconut nutritious? Pretty much. I know a person who lived on coconuts for like a whole month. Just drinking coconut water and eating coconuts. Okay? Huh? Hydration, that's right. Okay, now we're done. That's it. And now we can take...
Is coconut good for digestion?
Yes. Yes, you betcha. Huh?
I thought maybe.
Yes, lots of fiber.
Good for to restore electrolytes.
Mhm.
We had a friend that had diarrhea from the Philippines. Gave him that because he was losing a lot of electrolytes.
I was giving him salt and coconut water.
Fresh coconut.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now it's up to you. Like for me, and you know, because I wanted to make a cake for my friend, I turned it into cupcakes that you see here. But you can also turn them into like the little, you can roll them up in balls if you want to, or you can put them in these little cupcakes. No, I ran out of paper. And then you just press down. Okay.
So this one's the coconut cupcakes. These are the coconut cookies. Carrot cookies.
And if you want to be extra and you want to, you know, you want it to look pretty, which I did for her, you can get one of these coconut cream, or just get coconut cream, whip it up with your hand mixer, and that'll be your...
Wow, that's fancy.
That's it. That easy? Yeah? Okay.
All right.
Okay, pretend you didn't hear anything. Where do I put this? Oh. Thanks. Okay, so any avocado lovers here? Okay, who eats it as a savory type of meal? Okay, now who eats it as a sweet dish? Oh, do you guys put it with ice and like soy milk?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I'm not really into that. It's a little bit weird for me. However, when I found out that the recipe today would be a carrot mousse, let's repeat that, a creamy carrot mousse, I was like, what are we gonna use to make it creamy? Apparently, we can use avocados. And I tried it, and wow, great alternative to a chocolate mousse. Okay, so the way that we do that, wow, that's so quick. Okay, so we are gonna go ahead and grab 2 avocados, ripe avocados. So you can see they're squishy, perfectly green, soft. We're gonna go ahead and put it into the processor. Oh, no fault, oh no!
Okay, that's quick. It's okay. No, easy alone.
Yeah.
It's clean, it's clean.
All right, so we're gonna use our avocado. It's gonna be 1.5 avocados. And then we're gonna go ahead and add in some maple syrup for some sweetness. Afterwards, we're gonna add in, instead of cocoa, what are we gonna use? Carob, yes. Perfect alternative to cocoa. We're gonna add a dash of salt here, or a pinch. And then we're just gonna close it up and blend it until smooth and creamy. And that's gonna happen pretty fast. It's gonna get really smooth and creamy very soon because the avocado is ripe. So we're almost there. All right. Perfect. Oh, how do we take that out? Okay, so if you look here, look at that shine. Almost looks like real chocolate, but no, it's better, it's carob, it's healthier. Okay, so what we do next is we're gonna go ahead and put it into a little bowl. And you guys can see how creamy that is.
Wow.
And smooth and decadent.
Wipe your mouth. Rule, wipe your mouth.
Wow, who
There's
knew
some
that?
napkins on the table.
Yeah. But who knew that avocados could end up looking like this, right? Really delicious. All right. So here is our avocado, our creamy carob mousse. Look at how pretty that is, and it smells really great too. Now we're gonna go ahead and spruce it up a little bit. You can be a little bit fancy with it. Put some fruits on top or nuts or coconut flakes. Ooh, so pretty. For some texture. And then you're gonna go ahead and put it in the fridge for a few hours or up to 3 days so that it's a little bit more firm. But even just as is, it's still really good. So here is our carob mousse. Yay! And you guys will get to try that.